I know it may be hard to believe, but Mike and I don't only just talk about Rolling Stone album ratings. There are other things we talk about. The other thing we talk about kind of constantly is Doom. We're going to do that again tonight. And this is a nice kind of crossover because it's another thing that's gotten a few mentions on the show over time, Castlevania. So what do you get when you combine Castlevania and Doom together? What do you get, Mike?
Game that looks pretty intriguing to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, it we'll include a link to where you can kind of download the assets to give it a play. It is interesting that you have to use GZ Doom to play it, so you can't just run it off of a vanilla Doom instance. You've got to use GZ Doom to do it. It opens the door to some of the ambient lighting effects and other things that kind of the that uh, kind of extended what you could do in the Doom environment, so that you could really make a pretty, I think, pretty accurate. Now you're much more steeped in the world of Castlevania, and they went after the first um, kind of major version of Castlevania that kind of lined up with that. Um, but I mean, to me, visually, I mean, you're moving from a side scroller to first person, which is kind of weird, when you're thinking about some of the Castlevania levels. Uh, so you're big Castlevania guy. How did you think they did in terms of capturing the aesthetic and key elements of gameplay?
I'm going to say really well just from looking at the footage. I haven't played it yet myself. I'm going to say really well though, because if you didn't tell me that it was Castlevania, and if I couldn't hear the kind of iconic music playing in the background, I would know it would instantly be recognizable as Castlevania. Those environments are instantly recognizable for anybody who's played a number of the Castlevania games, because not only do they kind of reboot it every once in a while and start over, but some of the more famous levels make their way into multiple games. They shoehorn it into the story somewhere where you're going to go back to some of the most famous places because everybody just wants to replay those again.
Yeah, it was impressive, and so available on the Bog Panda YouTube channel and website, and you should like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. You'll see in all of our descriptions a link to Bog Panda Vision where we put out um, the Shakespeare of basic programming, Mike's work, the collected works, unabridged. In addition, everything else is in their shadow, but in their shadow are some Game Boy games of a series called Slapdash. There's also an NES extension of that universe available. There's a Dr. Mike platformer you can play online. And then there are some Doom 2 levels that you can download. I have stuck with everything I've done running under vanilla Doom, just kind of in Doom 2. So that's kind of where I've gone, and which has limited me in some of the features like portals that you can do more with GZ Doom and some of the lighting effects and that kind of change. So I've struggled with that a little bit because I think I could make a more visually appealing level if I would go that way. But then I've just kind of created, I guess most people who are kind of passionate about it probably have a version of GZ Doom that they can load it up and play that way. But by doing it the way I do it, it can be up on Bethesda and people can go in through Steam and kind of play that and pull it out of the library. So I've just kind of stayed doing it there. You have thoughts on that? Should I branch out to the more aesthetically pleasing options or stick with what I'm doing?
I will say genuinely, I love the Doom levels that you made. So I'm just excited for anything else that you do. I mean, it makes the route that you've been going, sticking with kind of traditional Doom makes sense in that it's available to anybody who has a Bethesda login. So everybody who's, on Steam or whatever it might be can have access to those levels. So that does make sense. I wouldn't say don't do stuff in GZ Doom. but it makes sense the way you've been doing it so far.
Yeah, and I don't know where timing's going to land us. My guess will be, I don't know, it'll be close. If it will, the latest level will be done and out maybe by the time this is published, and if not, within a week or two. And it's a be a stark difference from every other level so far. So I'm I had an idea or two that I stubbornly stuck with to say I'm going to try and do this thing. And as I got further and further along, I go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this work. But I'm pretty happy right now. And so, not gonna give any spoilers on it outside of the fact that you will definitely know it's a different level when you play it. So, hopefully that'll be available soon. So you should pull that down. There's been a decent number of folks that have grabbed it. It's up on Bethesda. Search on Boom Panda in the mod section and give her a play and let me know what you think because I've really enjoyed doing it. I can get I've lost a lot of time to it over time, and so I'm looking forward to when I get the new version out. Maybe we can do a show on it because I want to talk about um, just there's kind of one little thematic thing I've done that I want to see how it lands for you, and then of course if it crashes and burns with you, then we won't talk about it. But I think you'll get what I'm putting down when you play it. But we'll see on that. So, but you ought to. So we'll include a link to this Castlevania stuff to keep your skills sharp till the next Boom Panda level comes out. Go ahead and pull this down, and particularly if you enjoy Castlevania because it looks pretty awesome. And I certainly will be enjoying that as well. I'd have to check again because it's using the GZ Doom engine for a lot of it. I don't know if there's a version of that available on Bethesda or not. I'll have to check. Maybe in advance of publishing this, I'll go out and do that and let you know with a comment, and we'll see. So, great. Um, what other platformer would you like to see Doomified? Or no, don't limit you to platformer, but that seems like a pretty rich area. Any video game you like.
I don't know. I'd really have to think about it now, but Splatterhouse seems like it would lend itself to that.
Yeah, it certainly would. I mean, that wouldn't be much of a stretch at all there. Zombies Ate My Neighbors would be, and I think there is some overlays for
Yes,
that
yeah.
already, but I think you could really drive something home with that. Cubert could be interesting, but Marble Madness, But no, I think there's some options. Let us know in the comments if there's something you'd like to see Doomified. And if it doesn't need fancy lighting, some of these other capabilities, I'll see what I can do on the more vanilla Doom world on that. Cool. All right. Well, it's just a quick one. I wanted to kind of mention this out there. It looks super cool. Anytime we can talk about Doom, we want to. And that's all I got.
Yep, that's it.
Bog Panda.